My name is Alexander Pallas, and I'm Vice President of Bridge Financial. Today I'll be talking about what items to bring to your tax appointment. So let's get into it. So the biggest way our clients can help us out is being one, on time, and two, have everything they need for us to prepare their return accurately. We are only human, errors can be made, and we find that typically if there's an error, usually it's because we were missing items or we had to put the tax return on hold and wait for other items to come in. And logistically, it's a very tight window that we have to prepare 2,500 to 3,000 tax returns. So it really helps us out if our customers thoroughly go through the tax checklist. And today I wanted to go through it with you. So let's get into it. Personal data. If you're a new client, obviously we don't have any of your information, so we would need all the names, socials, date of births for everyone in the return. Oftentimes when a couple has a new child, the most commonly forgotten item is their social security number. It's okay, we can put in a fake social just to see what the result of the return would be and even print it out, but until we can't file until we have that number. Getting into the income. Basically, all types of income are taxable. Hard to find any income that isn't. So we need your W-2s, not last pay stub. I know people are anxious to file to get their refunds, but we cannot go off a last pay stub. We need that W-2. Unemployment compensation is taxable. There might be exclusions. We haven't had an update yet, but suffice it to say, it's important for us to know what your unemployment compensation was for 2020. Statements will show how much withholding you may have made towards your tax bill. Another key one here are K-1s. We really can't do a personal return until your business return is done. So if your business partner, their preparer is doing the business return, we really can't do your return until we get that K-1. Oftentimes that will be a candidate for an extension where we will try to anticipate how much income we expect to see, make sure you send in your estimate with enough taxes, and then we'll file later in the year. But if you happen to have your K-1, please bring it in. A K-1, by the way, is a reflection of your income or loss in an entity, and that could even be a trust as well. So if you're receiving income from a trust, it would be on a K-1. 1099-Rs, this will be your Social Security, your pension, your IRA distributions or annuities. That will show your total compensation or distributions as well as any withholding or taxes paid on that money during the year. Social Security income can be taxable, so absolutely bring that in. You'll get a statement from the U.S. government for that. Alimony received, that needs to be accurate because it needs to match the spouse's return, who will be deducting that money and assigning your Social Security number. So it's a red flag if those numbers do not reconcile. Gambling winnings are important, and be careful, by the way, with gambling winnings. It can have a huge impact on the return because, yes, you can write off losses, but it's tricky. The income counts first, and that income could jeopardize your Obamacare subsidy if you're getting one. And if you're not itemizing, you won't have the added deductions, but that's getting into the weeds. But gambling winnings are taxable, and you should receive an official document from any slot winnings or something of that nature. I wouldn't know. I don't gamble much. Anyway, state and local refunds, that's if you are getting income from another state and received a tax refund from that state. That may be taxable, so you want to let us know what your state refund was the previous year. If you're a new client, if you're an existing client, we'll have that information. Financial assets. Okay, so if you have a brokerage account with us, E-Trade, JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, what have you, those assets may accumulate interest and dividends, which is taxable income. And really specific to that account would be the sale of stock, which would spit out a 1099 as well. These statements typically come in mid-February. I expect to see clients that have brokerage accounts typically late February, March, and April, as inevitably there are amendments that are made. Take your time if you have a brokerage account to come in a little later in this season. Some write-offs that you might be entitled to that are commonly forgotten in bold: student loan interest and 1098T from the university. These are typically not mailed, which is why they're forgotten. You would have to log into your student loan account and get me the statement or the figure of the amount of interest you pay toward your student loan in 2020. Have your child, or if you go to college, log into the university website, and under financials or taxes or statements, I'm looking for the 1098T. This is a very lucrative deduction / credit that you're entitled to. Do not forget that form. This is the big one, 1095A. Single-handedly, 90% of our tax issues last year were because 1095A was not included in the return. If you received a subsidy on your health insurance, you're going to get a 1095A. If you moved, log into the marketplace account and you'll have one there. If not, you could even call Ken or someone at our office will get you the phone number to the marketplace where they'll get one to you. It's not a long hold time either. What does that form look like? Let's see if I can pull that up. This is what the 1095A looks like. It shows your premium and the amount of help that you received. And if your income is very high, or higher than you told the marketplace, then they're going to want some of that subsidy back. I've seen clients that had $7,000 refunds held up because they had a few months of Obamacare, forgot that they had it, didn't bring this form in, and we're still waiting on it. I cannot stress enough to make sure you bring in your 1095A. Where was I? So make sure you bring in your 1095A. Energy efficient upgrades to your house, or if you bought an electric vehicle, those are always attractive deductions. Bring those in. Itemized deductions. So your mortgage interest, property taxes, that's always commonly forgotten. Medical expenses. It's very tough to write off medical. Trump doubled your standard deduction, so that makes it difficult to itemize. And itemizing for the sake of medical is very difficult. If you're a senior, who typically have more medical, usually they have no mortgage interest. So it's very tough to write off medical. Rule of thumb, multiply your income by 10%. And if you're nowhere near that, don't even bother. If you make $80,000, you need $8,000 of medical for it to even make a dent. So if it's well below that, don't even bother. Investment properties. Okay. So think of your investment property as a business. I need to know income received and then a line item of your expenses. I'll add to this checklist any major items. If you don't mind, I would line item the type of item. So let's say a new roof, the amount, and the date of purchase. And we have to depreciate these bigger ticket items. You don't get to just write off a new roof or a new kitchen. So yes, kind of categorize the major expense, the date, and the amount. These are our two convenient office locations. If you're dropping off your documents, just make sure that you have an envelope, that you put your name and contact information on there. Clients will do that. They will literally put, a whole bunch of documents. They'll drop it off with our receptionist, no contact information. So please, having it in an envelope, you could even put it through our mail slot if it's after hours. And I'm speaking about our Stewart office, our Juneau office. We've been fighting with our landlord, and you are going to have to come during business hours. Okay, so sending documents via email. Ideally, we have one large attachment with all of your documents that hopefully will avoid the possible error that we overlook one of many attachments. So ideally we have one. I understand if you have a scanner that doesn't allow that, but if you do, if you can scan more than one document, please put one attachment. What else? Oh, stimulus amount received. This is an important one this year. We don't know yet, but my suspicion is that if we don't accurately reflect the stimulus you received last year, it might hold up your refund. So go through your bank statements, May, June, July, and December, January of this year. Find out exactly how much you received in stimulus in 2020 and this most recent one that bled into the 2021 year. What else? PPP amount. I'll get into that a little bit more on the business tax checklist. And that should do it. I hope this was helpful. It helps us to help you if you have everything, and it prevents a lot of errors. So it really means a lot to us that you took the time to listen to this video. And we hope you have a great day and look forward to helping you soon. Take care.